I think the analysis is wrong, and that's why we find it objectionable. The minister talks about inaugural calls during the course of 2022. I think that is quite a bizarre analysis. The important analysis is the number of passengers that are getting off those cruise liners. Now, as far as the numbers are concerned, we're still very much down to where we were in 2019. The perhaps more important and I think mature analysis, which should have been made by the government, is to step back and analyze where we were, for example, as recently as 2018, where the cruise liner arrivals here were in the region of something in excess of 200. And in terms of passengers, we were at around 400,000. So those numbers have significantly dropped since then, and we need to ask why.
And what's your suspicion?
It's not just my suspicion. It's also the comments which have been made by people in the industry. The transport infrastructure that we have available cannot cater for the number of passengers that get off on the particular vessels. Vessels are getting bigger and there isn't enough going around. So that's something which needs to be courageously, I think, dealt with, and we would certainly want to deal with it in government. The other issue is the question of the cruise liner terminal. It is in a very run-down state. I've asked questions in Parliament in relation to that. I understand it's being refurbished, but it's too little too late.
If you were the Minister for Tourism, what would be your priority right now?
The priorities would be to tackle those two issues I mentioned, in other words, transport infrastructure and also building infrastructure. In relation to the latter, we need to deal with the cruise liner terminal as a matter of absolute urgency. I've asked questions about the various entry points, not just in relation to the cruise liner, but also at the land frontier, land port ditch, and indeed at the airport, which are there. All of them, without exception, are in a dilapidated and sorry state. So those, I think, are the urgencies that we would wish to implement should we be elected into government later on this year.